Hey, welcome to World Entertainment, and we have a massive update regarding The Mummy 4. Returning cast members, but the movie has also been moved forward by a lot. Which is great news for us, because that means we're not waiting until 2028. They've now scheduled it for 2027. Yeah, but the returning cast members, one of which is one we were all expecting and waiting and hoping would happen, and it has finally happened. The other is an incredibly interesting return, because it's like, oh, out of all the characters, that is one my bingo card did not have. Let's take a look at this. You've probably already guessed who the first one is when I'm saying everybody's hoping would be back. It is, of course, Oda Fedi. Alright, so let's take a look at what it's saying here. So, more cast members have been added to The Mummy 4, including 2 actors who have already appeared in the franchise. Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz and John Hamm are all coming back as Rick O'Connell, Evie Carhanen, how do you pronounce it? Carhanen? Why isn't she Evie O'Connell? Because she's married. And Jonathan, respectively, along with new cast member Michael Johnston, who most recently starred in the horror film Obsession with, I'm not sure how you actually pronounce her second name. It's Indy Narvata? I'm not sure. Sorry, I butchered that. The Mummy 4 was originally scheduled for a May 2028 theatrical release before being moved up to October of 2027. Now, the one interesting thing about that is they've taken it out of the summer kind of move, which is interesting because these movies have always come out in the summer. So that's an interesting move that it's moved up to October, but maybe they're going for a lot more the horror end of things. Now, there's another name that's been added who they're not sure who they're playing. They're undisclosed who they're playing. I don't know if the name pops up in here, but it's Newman Ark or a car or something like that. So Deadline reports that, it is here, Newman Akar is joining the cast of The Mummy 4, while Kevin J. O'Connor and Oda Fedi are reprising the roles of Benny and Ardette. So, you're probably thinking, Benny? Which one's Benny? Benny is the dude who ends up helping the mummy in the first one. The one that kept having the conflict with Rick O'Connor in the original movie. Remember when the boat sinks and Rick and Evie and stuff are on one side of the river and Benny goes, "Hey, Rick, we got all the horses." And he's like, "You're on the wrong side of the river." That guy is Benny, who ultimately died in the first one horribly by getting trapped in the collapsing city and then eaten alive by the scarab beetles. So, is he going to be the threat for the new one? Or is he going to be resurrected by whoever the big bad will be of this next one? So, Akar starred as starred on Homeland during season 4 and 8 and appeared on shows like Prison Break, Jack Ryan, Legends and Young Sherlock. I still don't recognize him anyway, or the name. On the big screen, his credits include 12 Strong, Disney's live-action Aladdin, Spider-Man, Far From Home, and Desert Warrior. Desert Warrior. Isn't that like the biggest failure in the history of movies? That's the thing with Anthony Mackie. If he was in the live-action Aladdin, was he the guy that played Aladdin? I don't know. Details about Akar's character haven't been revealed yet, but O'Connor and Fedi starred in the first of Fraser's Mummies films in 1999. Benny knew Rick O'Connell from serving in the French Foreign Legion together, but when their paths crossed years later, he went to the dark side as a servant of Imhotep. The movie ended with Benny's death after the city collapsed, so it's unclear what capacity the character will return for The Mummy 4, whether the death is retroactively being treated as a fake out or his appearance will come via flashbacks. Erdet, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure, played a prominent role in the Medjai. I'm not sure how you pronounce that either. These are the type of names I have to hear to know how to say properly. A secret group of trained warriors, and returned for the first sequel, The Mummy Returns, in 2001. And then it kind of just waffles on a wee bit. So obviously, yeah, there you go. There's Benny. That guy. Remember him? That's Benny. So somehow Benny is returning, and of course everybody was hoping Oda Farah would return, but because, like, why wouldn't he? Especially if they're retconning the third movie, the Tomb of the Dragon Warrior, or whatever the hell it was called. I can never remember the bloody way that title goes. Everybody was hoping he would return, and he is. Good. We need to see him in something good since he's been in Star Trek. Yeah, new Kurtzman Trek. He's Vance in that. Less said the better. Who just always seems to show up for some reason. I'm excited for this movie. The fact that he's returning gets you even more fun. So you have the original lineup. You have, obviously, Rick O'Connell, aka Brendan Fraser. You have Rachel Weisz coming back, which is also great. You have John Hamm coming back. And now that you've bringing back Oda Faye, makes absolute sense. The one question that is still kind of going to be floated about is their kid going to be in this one? And what age would he be in this one? Now, obviously, the original third movie, the kid was growing up. He was like in his 22, 23 or something like that in the movie. So the fact that they're retconning that one, are they getting someone else to come in and be the kid? Maybe that first guy's name. Where is the guy's name? Give me one momento. This guy, Kevin J. O'Connor. Oh no, that's the guy that's playing Benny, not the Newman Arthur. Where's the blood? Oh yeah, this dude from Michael Johnson from Obsession. Could he be the son? Don't know. I don't know what age he is. So you kind of have to, again, you have to kind of figure out how far removed from Mummy Returns will this be. I would assume they would have to, with how they've all aged and changed. You would have to do the setting of X amount of years has actually passed since The Mummy Returns, which came out in, 2001, 2002? So I think it was 2002. So you would have to have that gap in there. So what age would the kid be now? Almost 30. Maths is not the strong point here, people. But it is great news that Oda Faye is coming back. But the question is, Benny. How is Benny coming back? So, is the new mummy, the new threat, gonna resurrect Benny and use him as like a servant again? Is Benny gonna be the threat? I hope they don't kind of use him as the threat, because you would still hope that he would be sort of in line with the character, even if he's undead, the character he was in the original movie. But it's very interesting that they're bringing him back. So overall, I'm excited for this movie. I love the Mummy movies. I even enjoy the third movie. Yeah, it's the absolutely 100% the weakest one out of it, and the whole abominable snowman moment was kind of like, we went there, did we? It was a bit weird, but overall, I'm excited for this. I love the fact that the whole cast now is back. And I find it very interesting that they've moved it forward away from May 2028 and brought it forward to October 2027. Should they have left it in a summer setting? Maybe. Probably. But we will find out. So let me know what you guys think of this casting news. The fact that not one but two are coming back, and one of which How exactly are they coming back? And are you excited for this movie? Let me know. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like, share, subscribe, hit that hype button, all that good stuff. Cheers. I'll catch you in the next one.